Inside was originally a movie that I picked up years ago from a Blockbuster. Remember Blockbusters? Inside is a 2007 French horror film directed by Alexandre Bustillo and Julien Maurey. It stars Alysson Paradis and Béatrice Dalle. Between 1998 and 2010, there was an upsurgence in what's called extreme movies from France. This movie is one of about 15 that are associated with the new wave of French cinema. Now let me just say right off the bat, Inside is not for everyone. It's a very, very bloody movie. If you aren't put off by blood, what you'll find is this very well crafted psychological horror movie. This movie is about two women. And there's other characters that are involved, but the primary story revolves around the two women. Sarah is the main protagonist. She's played by Alysson Paradis, and the other woman is only ever referred to as the woman. Even in the credits, she's the woman. And the woman is played by Béatrice Dalle. At its core, Inside is a home invasion movie that's been stripped back to bare bones. This movie does a great job of building tension, and it does it in a lot of ways that you don't notice on the first viewing. In a lot of horror movies, a lot of home invasion movies, you never understand really how the person got into the house. Often there's an open window or door, but you never know why it was unlocked, or there's just no explanation that's given for how they got inside the house. In this movie, everything is explained, but not in a way that's obvious. If you pay attention, you will see the antagonist enter the house. Visually, for much of its runtime, this is a very dark film. The lack of lighting gives this movie a grounded sense of realism. You feel like this is a person who's just hanging out at home. They don't have a studio quality lit home in every room at all times. Much of it is dark. Much of it is in shadow. And it's even because of those shadows that the woman is able to hide in the home, and she's able to move throughout the house without being noticed. As with any movie, especially horror movies, some of the characters make some not terribly intelligent decisions, but the reality is if everybody in every horror movie made every decision the way that they should, there would be no movie. The score for this movie is beautifully haunting. It stays with you long past when you've watched the movie. Inside features almost no computer effects. Virtually everything is done practically. CG has its place, and sometimes it's done really well, like see my review for Ex Machina, the fantastic visual effects. CG in horror movies tends to distance you from what you're seeing. You're like, it's on a computer, it's not real. Practical effects, when they make an arm and pump it full of blood, and then somebody stabs that arm and it bleeds, adds so much more realism to a movie that's meant to terrify you. The one major complaint about this movie that I have is some questionable sound effect usage. There's some really weird, like, cheetah-sounding screeches in the movie that they come off as jarring rather than tense. In the end, Inside is an extremely well-made horror thriller. It is extremely violent and very bloody. Just as a side note, if you happen to pick this movie up on DVD, don't waste your time with the dub. Watch the original French with the subtitles. The dub, as with so many movies, is horrible. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.